Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. We're on the Shropshire Union Canal and I'm currently moored very near to Bridge 5, and in this video I'm going to go as far as the Stretton Aqueduct, which means on the way we'll be travelling through the village of Brewood. So let's have a quick look at the map. Feel free to pause the video if you need a bit more time. We're starting at the bottom of the map, the trip start point, and we're heading on up towards the top of the map. Very simple. That other blue line on the map is the old Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal, which I came down in previous videos. As you will see, the start point there is very close to the M54 motorway. So without further ado, let's go boating! Well, this was quite a pleasant place to moor up. It was a bit noisy with the motorway. That's actually quite close, so I'm keen to get away from that. This video is actually two trips combined. The first trip was a very short one which I made on the 17th of May, and then the second one was on the 21st of May. Now the first part here, unfortunately the weather's pretty grey and drab, but on the second part of the video it's nice and sunny again. Here the canal widens to allow you to turn if you want to, and you can see up ahead we've got the M54 motorway, not very far at all. One thing I did notice was that the motorway was much quieter on the other side, something to do with the wind direction I think. Well, that's better already. Another little narrow section here, only wide enough for one boat. There's quite a few of those. Just coming up is Bridge 7, and on the other side of that we have some 48-hour visitor moorings. In fact, pretty much all of the visitor moorings on the Shropshire Union Canal were 48 hours. Here are the visitor moorings, and this is where I stopped on the 17th of May, and this is where I resumed on the 21st. I remember mooring here 20 years ago when I was last down this way, but the big difference this time is that all those trees on the left weren't there last time, and you had open views over the fields, which was really lovely. We're now entering a deep cutting. Very pretty. Lots of these on the Shropshire. and we find ourselves straight into another very narrow section of canal. Those private moorings on the left there, they do look a bit ramshackle, but it is a very pretty place to have a mooring. And here we are heading into another deep cutting. This one's just a little bit wider than the last one. This bridge is very pretty. It's number 10 and it's called Avenue Bridge, and there's a bridleway that runs across the top of it and up through some lovely woodland. Makes a nice walk. There's some sort of underwater obstruction here. I think it's basically the bank has collapsed and pushed the metal piling into the canal a bit. Not quite sure, but there's plenty of room to get through. We are now approaching a village which I'm reliably informed is pronounced Brewood. And there it is over on the hill. The canal does take us much closer to it in a moment, and there are some official visitor moorings a bit further ahead. The visitor moorings for Brewood are between bridges 13 and 14. It's a handy little village to explore. There's a few shops and a few pubs, etc., so it's well worth stopping off at. I didn't stop, I just kept going. Bridge 14 is the best bridge to access the village by. The moorings on the left are all long-term moorings, but the towpath moorings on the right are very popular with visitors, so I haven't stopped here myself, but it looks like a good place. It's a mixture of shade and sunshine today. 1 minute it's drab and gloomy, next minute radiantly lovely. I could live in one of those, I reckon, but I don't think I'd like to be crammed in quite as tightly as that. At this point, Belvide, or Belvide Reservoir, feeds into the canal here. Got to keep those water levels topped up. Look out, Mr. Swan. Coming up ahead is the Stretton Aqueduct. This takes us over the busy A5 main road. It's not particularly impressive when viewed from the canal, but from the road it's quite nice, although it is looking very shabby and needs some desperate TLC. The road it goes over is really quite busy. There's good towpath mooring here, but there's another wooded cutting up ahead, so I want to moor up quite close to this point. So just past that boatyard I think will do. That's an interesting little boat. I think it looks like a tug or something. I really don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. In the next video we'll head on through Wheaton Aston. So until then, I'll see you next time.